I wanted to share like a wholesome story that I had with my daughter. So a couple of years ago, my kids were in karate, and I was really proud. It was kind of my single dad thing. I talked to a psychologist, and I was frustrated about how my divorce had gone. And he says, "Hey, look, man, it kind of is what it is. So what you should do is just kind of put your head up and move on, and put kids in stuff that you feel passionately about." And that's kind of like your dad thing, right? So I took his advice and put my kids into karate, and I drove them to all the classes, lessons, whatever. And so the first thing I want to talk about, which I thought was really funny, was I'm a total man. Like with the laundry, I don't separate the colors from the whites. I just throw it all in there, throw a Tide Pod in there, call it a day. And so over time, it was really funny because when you get the kids karate gis, they're completely white. You know, these Adidas, white gis. And so they're completely white. And then I realized maybe 6 months later, I'm in the karate class and I'm watching the kids do their belt test. And so there's all these kids that are lined up. The whole room's filled with kids in their gis. And I realized that my kids' gis are completely muddled gray. And everybody else's gis are pristine white. And I just started laughing because it felt like a Tide commercial. It's like, tired of your whites not being white enough? Use Tide. And it was just, I felt that I was like literally on the set of a Tide commercial. But the reason for that, I'm assuming, was just because I didn't bleach the gis, and then also I had just mixed them in with the colors and they got really muddled gray. So I just kind of chuckled or whatever. Not the end of the world. But the thing I want to, the main point of this video I want to talk about was just a kind of a fun thing I had with my daughter. So I had my daughter in karate, and so when we would train I'd help her train for like the katas. So katas are like forms where you do basically a choreographed thing. And we would I go down to my basement, and I would kind of teach her about kind of like showing up into the square and showing up and presenting, strength from the moment that you are leaving the line to kind of perform the kata. You want to present yourself as being strong, and you want to present yourself as kind of being stylized, and when you're actually performing it. So that was a big part of what I would kind of push. But in terms of coaching her, I realized I was really doing a bad job because my daughter would get discouraged and get frustrated, like I was micromanaging. And I ended up talking to a neighbor about this. He's this guy that's super big into sports coaching, and he coaches a lot of boys teams and girls teams, and he's got kids. And I really look up to him. I think it's great. I think I really respect men that kind of get involved in kids sports and want to coach and be a good role model for them. So I was talking with him about this. I was like, yeah, with my son, it's like, seems like he's a little bit more agreeable. It seems like I'm able to get to the heart of the matter, and we just are able to go. We're able to we're able to flow. And he says, well, boys and girls are very different when you coach them. With boys, you can give them a little bit more of a blunt direction. Say, hey, let me show you how to do this. This is how you do it. He says, with girls, what you need to do is come from a very supportive place. And so you start with that and you end with that. So you come from a place of like, you're doing a really great job, and here's something that we can do to kind of slightly tweak it. But you're doing great. You look really great. I'm really, really glad that I talked to him. And that's why I'm a big advocate for men connecting with other men and talking about fatherhood, because you pick up on tips and tricks and you can be a better dad. And so really appreciate that conversation. And I came out of it, as a dad, I really want to serve my kids. I really want to serve my kids as a good father that's inspiring to them and that is encouraging them and makes them feel. I don't never want to cut them off at the knees, but that's basically what I was doing when I was kind of coaching my daughter. It's just like she was getting upset that I was giving her so many notes, because I'm looking at her do it. And I'll watch sports. I can watch a lot of different sports, and I can get pretty good at judging things quickly. I'll watch diving and be like, oh, that's like that's probably like a 7.8 or something like that because of the tuck and then the splash or whatever. And within a short amount of time, I can kind of be pretty good at judging stuff. So I felt like, hey, I have this kind of awareness, and I know what will kind of get a gold medal when you go to the karate meet. So let me give you that. That was kind of I feeling like I had something to give, but because of the way that I packaged it up and I messaged it, it was not landing. And I was frustrated twofold. I was frustrated because my daughter was not benefiting from the gift that I was, in my perception, I was trying to give her. And also I was damaging our relationship because she felt like I was being overly critical, and I was damaging her overall sense of like her doing well, which is, so it can be really frustrating when you try to teach your kids something or you try to coach them. And I just want to have said that because so many moms and dads run into that. And I just want to say, hey, it's not unique. A lot of, everybody deals with that to some extent. So I realized, man, I'm really not a teacher, and being a teacher is really it is definitely its own profession, and has its skill set that I just never learned because that's not my profession. But so the thing that was so great was we had a karate tournament, and I said we started looking at this after school. Me and my daughter went out of the basement and kind of have a finished basement. We're gonna practice this kata till we get it right. And immediately we're bumping heads, and I kind of stopped and I bit I was kind of grinding my teeth and said, Dan, I'm gonna do this. I am gonna make this a happy and productive experience. And the problem is when you're doing something after work and the kids after school, your attitude sucks and the kids' attitude sucks. They don't want to do it. So that's just how it is. This is life, right? So I kind of said, look, my biggest desire here in my life is to really want to make a positive impact on my kids, and so I'm gonna do this right. So I kind of just was straight up with my daughter. I said, hey, look, here's what it is. I love you, and I know I can be kind of too much, and I'm really sorry, and I don't want to be like that, and I really want this interaction to go great. I don't want it to go poorly. I want it to go great, and I want to feel like I really helped you prepare for this thing the next day. And so I said I'm gonna make a promise to you that I'm gonna do everything I can to be positive with you and give you really great encouragement here. Deal? And I said I want you to I want to ask you to make a similar promise to me. So we did, and that was a good experience there. And we went on to do a practice, and I was really trying. I did exactly what my buddy had said. I think you did really great. You looked really powerful when you threw that punch. It's just that when we did that second kick, I felt that we could have put a little bit more spin on it and a little bit more oomph on it. And when we do the ki, really we want to sell that. But overall, you're doing great. And so it was a lot of positive and very little negative. We do that compliment sandwich, right? So we ended up doing the whole routine, and I kind of pushed it. I said, we really want to go until we feel comfortable that we've really nailed it, right? 100%. So we did, and we went a little bit beyond what you get tired and took it to completion. Afterward, my daughter wanted to dance and be silly in front of the mirror with me. And so we did, and I felt, man, like this is what a different, we're making faces in the mirror, we're dancing, we're doing moves and stuff. It was a lot of fun. I felt this is exactly what I wanted. This is a very powerful experience. We ended up going to the meet, and a lot of times my daughter actually did very well at the kata, and in this meet she didn't do as well, and she didn't get the medal. She would normally be placing in the top 3, and she didn't. I don't think she got a top 3 medal in that one. But after the meet, I said, hey, this is the meet that I am most proud of that we did, because in the prep, we were able to work with each other, and I'll never forget that time, because I had kind of nailed it, and I really felt that I had served my daughter in that moment in the way that I had wanted to, and I had been the dad that I wanted to be, and I really took that as a lesson kind of moving forward. And there's a lot of ups and downs with having kids, and that's to be expected. But I really wanted to just put that message out to everybody, because I think boys and girls respond to things different ways. Although I think boys respond well to the compliment and the positivity too. But particularly with girls, you really got to have that you can do it, and you're doing it great, and here's just a little tweak. And I think that's like a winning formula, and I always really appreciate getting that advice, because at the end of the day, I just really want to be a good dad. And so anyways, I hope this helps somebody. If you have a similar story, I'd love to hear it in the comments, and if you have philosophy on this, or it's kind of please let me know. And if if you like what I'm talking about, I'd love it if you liked and subscribe. Thanks so much. Bye.